Hello, everybody. This is Thomas Alone. Just gonna put everything down a bit, except the voice volume. I think that's voice volume. Anyway, this is an indie game. I think it's fairly new. It's basically a puzzle game, and it looks pretty interesting. You know, I saw one of my commentators that I watch, Total Biscuit, and his channel name is Totalhalibut, though. Very good channel. Check it out. Games commentator and reviewer and first impressionist. But anyway, on to this. I have to admit I did play a bit, so I might know the puzzles a bit. I played up to the first level, but the beginning puzzles are easy anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. I actually quit because I didn't want to try too hard on this next one. The program was a failure. People forget this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding names, strings to the AIs as a joke. Thomas AK-23612 wasn't special. It was just an AI in the right place at the wrong time.
Was alone. Wow. A weird first thought to have.
Huh. This is Thomas. I'm gonna assume he's got like a British accent too. Thomas. Thomas, Also, the music is amazing for this game. Like, it's just great.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity. 1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
As you may have noticed, there is a narrator. Great narrator. It gives the game some emotion and makes it like 10 times better to play. It gives these blocks kind of a persona, even though they're just blocks. It's amazing.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think! What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump. It worked! Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
Inverted fall. That's hilarious. I started playing at 2:13.
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
I started at 2:14, I guess. PM, not AM. Notice I'm not whispering. Yeah, I always like documenting my times.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
Okay.
He was starting to suspect it might even be doing so on purpose.
Water's bad.
Paranoia.
Water's bad. Don't fall in the water. The water is bad.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
To the right. I just think this game is fantastic. I love it.
It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills. It had been designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
Yes, too obvious. Precarious, indeed. Darn Englishman. No.
Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
No.
He made another mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided.
It's kind of hard to talk sometimes with the narrator, but I'm not going to interrupt the narrator. That's like the best thing about this game. Also, to avoid spoilers.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
If you don't want to ruin the game now, you should probably stop watching, because narration is basically the only way this game can tell its story. If you could call it a story, it's more of observations from Thomas's point of view, even though Thomas is just a block, surrounded by other blocks. But aren't we all just blocks, surrounded by other blocks? God dang it. I just described Minecraft basically too, so that's pretty interesting. Ooh, okay. That wasn't too hard.
Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper.
I don't mean to brag.
He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
Oh, poor Thomas. What's that? I submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this would happen. Overlapping scripts. More than one AI was bound to be spawned into an environment at some point. Turns out I missed the point. The letter arrow changed everything. Like Russell.
Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
Yeah. Yeah. What the heck is this, Thomas? It's a horrible voice ring. Hey, my name's Chris. My name is Chris too. Kinda weird.
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own.
Yeah.
He'd even been graceful at times.
Yeah.
Well, not actually. Not technically graceful. It's probably the wrong word, but, you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Yeah. Freaking. Just because you can jump. Oh. Oh, that was a fail. Thomas, okay, there it is again. Thomas is taking a beating from these blocks. I love this music. Come on, Chris. Let's get out of here. Yeah. 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 Okay. Apparently E changes too. Ah, okay. That makes sense. That would have helped when I was playing earlier. Thomas, jump!
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him? Great, great. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
Yep. Let's do this, Chris. Let's get out of here. We're breaking out of these pixels. Out of this program. We're gonna be intelligent.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him.
Yeah.
Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
I swear I was better at this last time. I don't normally suck this bad. Yeah, let's get out of here. This looks...
Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness. That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot. He hoped the next portal would split them up.
No!
If only for a few levels.
Chris seems like a real jerk. Oh. Yeah. I mean... Look, Thomas is just being... God dang it. Thomas is just being Thomas. He's being nice. He's being like every other block, you know, minding his own business, you know, covering his corners four at a time. Oh God, come on! Oh, God dang it! Okay, patience. That's the hardest thing about this game for me. Look at his shadow. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Woo! Deuce. Just let Thomas fall down there. Yeah, we bring Chris along, just coming his way all fat and noble. Look at him. Telling Chris's teeth are gonna do this. Oh, I'm gonna cheat.
John knew. He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
John seems like a jock. Game day. Can I, jump? Well, no, I can't jump. He can get him. Oh. Okay. Ah, okay. Almost screwed that up. I mean, I know what I'm doing.
This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things.
Yeah, these little dot
Where'd they
things.
come from, anyway?
Yeah, what are they? I'm just agreeing with an error now.
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it smelled of awesome.
Awesome.
Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done.
Yeah, come on, Chris.
John decided to press the switch to
Okay.
let the little dots catch up with him.
Oh,
John cared for his new allies.
that's very nice. Well, you see, John's
You
kind
could
of...
tell from the sympathetic expression he'd practiced in the mirror all these years.
John's kind of like Chris, where he's kind of conceited, but he's more caring. I like that. God dang it. I'm never gonna get used to that. I always switch to the wrong block. John, don't die! Okay, I like John. It should be called... This game should be called, John is alone. Or John was alone. This feels like a John thing to do. Oh, wow, it wasn't high enough. There you go. Let's do this. Hey, double life. Sweet. Achievement. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Oh, wait, we left Chris behind. Chris! We're not leaving you behind. Come on. Yeah, that's right. You better make a path for me. That's what I'm talking about. Now, be nice. I'm talking for them all. I think I finally lost it. I'm playing a game about blocks. Wow, that was perfect. Oh, wait. This is gonna be a problem, isn't it? Okay, no. Oh, darn it. Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. 1.9 or 119. I mean 119. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for now. I'll play a bit more later. A bit later after I run this video. And yeah. I think I'm gonna play this game. It's pretty fun. Great music. I love the music. I normally don't notice music, but this music is awesome. This is Thomas. This has been Thomas. This has been John. And this has been Chris. Catch you all later. See you.